one. Okay. Okay, so how do we do MIDI learn? Just check these scenes again. So 1, 2. Okay. Doesn't seem like I can right click on the scene to MIDI learn, but I bet you it's in here. Okay. So the utility scene. Yay. Okay, scene 1 learn. I'm gonna hit my pedal. Yay. All right. Okay, so that's good. And I can't remember what I used to figure out how I was munching. Okay, so I'm stepping on my pedal. It's switching for us. Awesome. Okay. So I'm not in Windows Ultimate Performance mode or whatever. I was going to kind of make a baseline here first. So I just want the performance meter. So I'm going to... I mean, not thrilled, but let me see if I'll pull this real quick. In fact, I'm going to put this offline so we can see what we're really looking at. Okay. Okay, so this is the one I'm always worried about. RT CPU and RT longest block. I don't know why this thing is so high right now. That's kind of crazy. That should be like nothing. But this is with BiasFX bypassed. So 3% RT CPU. Bring it back online. So it might have been the wah. I mean, we had a big problem with the wah controller in BiasFX 1. So that might have been where the CPU was getting much. It says it's around 15% real-time CPU. Oh, okay. So that just happened. Okay, so switching scenes just crashed Reaper, but you know, who knows what that could be. I'm not going to completely blame that on bias right now, and you know what, I should have just saved that. Now I got to do this all over again, but that's okay. Do this real quick. Okay. Oh, nice. Not nice. So this is the thing, like it's driving me nuts. It takes a long time for bias to start up, and if you do anything while it's happening, it'll often crash on you. So this time I'm gonna let it load all the way up here. And hopefully, there we go. Weird things happen with the GUI and bias, and this needs to be addressed. It's almost always some GUI problem. Like the problem where it crashes Dante, it doesn't happen until the GUI shows. And in that case, it's because it's phoning home. You know, it's logging into Tone Cloud or checking your licenses or whatever. That's where it crashes. And for me, if I close bias sometimes before it loads up on the GUI, it will crash. So, or if I delete bias from a project. So like, watch this. I'm gonna delete this. So far, so good. I'm just gonna save it because it's gonna try and blow up on me. Just gonna get rid of all this. The reason I'm using this project, I have some audio to play so I can test it while it's going. Okay, so let me I'm gonna reassign the MIDI track. Send it to the first track. So I'm going to bring bias and BiasFX on here. We're going to have a look. gonna wiggle my MIDI controller, make sure I'm getting MIDI information. Yep, I am. Okay, so I'm gonna bypass BiasFX real quick. In fact, I'm gonna set that offline. Okay, I'm gonna go look at BiasFX too. You see this loading time, man. I mean, this is. You see that pause? That's when things crash and the computer stops, and there's something that needs to really be looked at here. This happens with plugins. It's just a thing. Okay, so here's BiasFX 2. I'm gonna save this again so I don't have to go through all this again. I'm gonna let me just add a wah, because I think that's really what it's gonna be. How do I do it? Replace this. Filter, yep, okay. So I'm going to replace that with the wah. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to right click it so I can assign MIDI to it. How do I? Oh, up here, okay. Assignment. So the wah, I'm going to wiggle my pedal. There we go. Okay, so it was going for a second. Now it's off again. What's going on? Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's look at this performance. So that's not bad. I'm not sure what I was running into when I was having that performance problem. So I'm gonna disarm this track. In fact, I'm gonna just play some audio, see if it's crackling. So, you know, the MIDI's adding maybe 3% CPU to this. I'm going to set this offline for a second, and hopefully it's not going to crash anything. I'm going to pull up BiasFX 1. I want to get an idea of what we're looking at for CPU and stuff. And I'm gonna assign a wah in here. So just pull up one of mine that I know works. Oh, okay, so that's already gone. I already had this assigned. Awesome. Okay. Huh. Okay. Looks like BiasFX 1's using more CPU. Dangerously so. And I'm not sure if that's the MIDI. Here, I'm just gonna. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so here, I'm gonna rearrange this a little bit. Okay, so here's your real-time CPU with no GUI showing. You see how low that is? That's with BiasFX on. Look at that. Look how crazy low that is. Okay, now I'm gonna turn the MIDI on. Just went to 21% just from the MIDI. Okay, that's not cool. But let's bring the GUI back on. Let's turn the MIDI back off. I'm gonna bring the GUI back up. See, now it's back down to. Yeah, I've never seen BiasFX that low. Okay, here's with the GUI up. Something seems very weird to me. I don't remember it being like this. Anyway, so I'm gonna turn the wah back on. So now look at this. We're at 20-something% just by sending MIDI to it. And I don't know if you remember that bias. You see now it's becoming completely sluggish. Let's check if that's really an actual slugginess or if that's a bug in bias. So I'm gonna bring up a monitor. Recontrol MIDI. I think that's the one it's called. So I'm gonna show log, and as fast as I move that pedal, it's going. So that lag. That's something else. That's inside bias. But anyway, I'm up to like 24% real-time CPU just by turning MIDI on. And if I turn MIDI off, look at this. The CPU goes to like nothing. So there used to be an issue where if you had too many automation points in BiasFX, it could make you some serious trouble. And that kind of happens with a lot of plugins. One suggestion is to filter the number of MIDI events. You don't quite need so many of them, most likely. Another is, is it real-time control or is it automation? This, I would say, is not necessarily automation, but you could think of it that way. So let me, let's go back to BiasFX 2. Control-Alt-B, I think I have. There we go. So that's offline. I'm going to bring this guy online. And here's where we are very likely to crash. So I'm going to be bringing up the GUI. It's going to be phoning home. Let's see what happens. See that freeze? Man, that is the scary part right there. Okay, well, we're up. Okay, real-time CPU again. Seriously low. I'm going to turn on the MIDI. 8%, and for some reason it is not controlling. Oh, there it goes. Now it's starting to go. Yeah, now it's stuck again. So is it really stuck, or is it again, is it the program? My my logger seems like it. Well, maybe, this could be something else. This could be something here. Anyway, so, wow, that's really sluggy. I don't know what's going on here. Usually this is absolutely awesome. So anyway, it's 15%, 14%. And if I were to do a dual path here, now I'm at 20-something% here. So I think it really was the real-time control. I had it on scenes last time that was doing this, but let me just do this. I'm gonna make a couple different scenes. Okay. So there's my scene switching. Again, a lot of lag. That's not. Let's just hit play. That's nice switching, isn't it? That's pretty damn quick. That's sometimes it's lagging, but the switch happens very fast, but it doesn't necessarily happen when you press the button, which is another issue. But okay, so that's. Let me just arm this track. I want to make sure. Yeah, it's not adding much. So here you go. So if on a single path, just adding MIDI to it, enabling MIDI at all. So it's not even 1% without any MIDI control. Turn on the MIDI, and we're going. It's going to get near 15%. It might go above 15 actually. And if I just check the scene switching, it doesn't seem to make any giant bump. If I change this to let's see. Oh, so how do I get? Whatever. The scene edit mode is a little bit weird. So if I enable dual amps, that's going to add another whatever to it, another 5% or so. That's a lot of real-time CPU just to have MIDI. Okay, so you wanted me to try Windows Ultimate Performance Mode. Let me see if I can do this. There was a guide that said how to do it, and so I'll pull that up as soon as I can find it. Sorry. Okay, how to enable Ultimate Performance Mode in Windows 10. Go to Command Prompt and put that in. Okay. Okay, don't copy that period right there. Blammo. Okay. And then power and sleep. Power options. If you blow up your computer because you do this, that's not my fault. In fact, I probably wouldn't mess with this. Additional power settings. Ultimate performance. Ultimate. Okay, so let's see if that makes any difference at all. I'm probably betting it won't, but okay. So here without MIDI, geez, something weird is going on. I swear this stuff was eating way more real-time CPU than this. But so here we go. Turn on MIDI. Ultimate performance mode. It's still, maybe it dropped 1%, maybe. But yeah, that ain't it. Okay, so I'm going to send this to Positive Grid, and I'm going to be back in a little bit with a hopefully a free drum triggering thing. We'll see how that is. I got to take care of business, send this off to the manufacturer, and I'll be back on.